out bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak, because she's received out for me. I'm unique, there is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me. I'm a geek.
What is good, Comic Clan? I am your host of Art of the Hero tonight, Nitro, of course. One half of the dynamic duo Comics in the Cross. Thank you for stopping in tonight. It looks like the stream is a bit laggy for some strange reason. I'm not sure what would be causing that. All right, this is frustrating. All right, so this is not going to look pretty. I appreciate everybody hanging out. For those of you who are able to hang out. For some reason, OBS removed and deleted all of my preset scenes. So I kind of had to hash these together from scratch really quickly. What's up, Watson? Yeah, so sound alerts aren't probably going to work unless I can just very quickly get them in. And the stream avatars are probably not going to work. So, but let me see. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I kind of want to get to the art. But let me see if I can just add a browser source. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like sound alerts is working in general, so. Yeah, I had a feeling it might do that when I cleared the cache. I was hoping it wouldn't, but freaking just fantastic. So I'm going to have to do all these from scratch again. But it is what it is. We're going to try to work with this as best as possible. Again, it's not going to look pretty. The stream is not going to look pretty. But, you know, hopefully we'll get done what we need to get done. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's probably my fault. I don't know. This has never happened. What's up, Epic Tank? Epic Tank. So if you've just tuned in, I've been having issues with OBS for the past 20 minutes, and it just removed all of my scenes. So normally this looks a lot more pleasant to the eye. You know, I always look pleasant to the eye, but there's stuff around me that make me look even more pleasant than I normally do. And so I've had to hobble these scenes in OBS together from scratch. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully we can get the scenes that I had up and working this week. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating. But you know, nothing I can do about it now. So I hope everybody's week is going better than my tonight. Oh man, I'm like sweating here. I just shaved my head, and when I shave my head, I haven't done it in a while, but when I shave my head, I sweat a lot. So it is what it is. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you so much for chilling with me tonight. We're gonna put on some music because I need to calm down. So there we go. Miss a clear cache for the actual saves. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, so what we have been working on, or what we started working on last week was Watson, who's in the chat for Co-op Trio Podcast. We can do, Locke, would you mind shouting out Co-op? And then Co-op, would you mind shouting out Locke in the chat? We started a piece for, actually, let me back up for a second. Or just see when you're shooting how to see it. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. So our stream, Comics in the Cross, I am actually just one half of the dynamic duo. My name is Nitro. Other half is Cross. We host streams on Sunday. All geek culture. We talk comics, comic book movies, indie comics, TV shows, things like that. On Monday night, Cross does Monday Night Crossplay, in which he'll play a game that he's been working on. It was up till a week or two ago. He was working through Kingdom Hearts for the first time, but we've been so immersed in Sea of Thieves, like life. Sea of Thieves is life right now that we've been trying to work through the Tall Tales. I think Tall Tales? Tales from the Crypt? I don't know. Something Tales, the new Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. So, yeah, we've been trying to work through that. And then on Tuesday nights, I have an art night where I just live stream some art. So what I've been doing the past like month or two is we had a 12-hour stream back in April to raise money for TACA, which is an autism charity. And because of that, one of the milestones was a commission piece by me, and then it ended up being four separate commission pieces. So we are on 3 of 4 right now, and Watson wanted me to draw Zuko and Aang kind of split down the middle of their face, one side the air temple, one side the fire temple. So that's what I started last week, and that's what I've been working on. Seen you a few times before, but I can get into it. No worries, man. No worries, man. I'm not really the fastest drawer, artist, whatever. So I know everybody has their own kind of deal. So let me actually just change the scenes a bit, and we'll see. Hopefully, it works. Let me know if you can still hear me and you can still hear the music. Alright, so let me move the keyboard up because I'm not going to need that at the moment. Alright, so I was going to scan the stuff in, but I still have a little bit of work to do on the actual characters and the air temple, and then I have to fully draw the fire temple. So we started with Aang. Let me move the camera just a tad. There we go. So we started with Aang. Obviously, it's going to be half of his face, so we focused on half the face. I'm going to be drawing in. I'm going to turn this music down just a teeny bit. We're going to be focusing in on just that half of his face, and then the other side is Zuko, little emo Zuko is what I call him. And again, we're going to be doing that side of the face. So this side will be Zuko, this side will be Aang. And then we started working on the air temple last week. Got most of it done. I'm still undecided on Appa or the air bison. The sea bison. Oh my gosh. The air bison. I don't know if I'm going to put him in there. We'll see. It makes sense to put him in there, but I haven't decided, so I'm not 100% sure. And then we started work on the fire temple, just kind of laying it out. I don't know if you can see that well, but just started laying out the different tiers and stuff like that on it. But what I'm going to do first is I need to do what I always do on these things and kind of heavy outline, just like comic book type style. Okay, I'll put Appa in. Yeah, family friendly lock. Come on now. Alright. So we're basically done with this. Again, I just want to add a heavy outline like I normally do on these. So let me see. So Epic Tank, what type of art are you normally into, man? Sorry, I say man. That's a colloquialism is the word, I guess. It's just like me saying dude. Sorry. So if you are not a man, please don't take it personal. What type of art do you normally get into? Or do you normally watch art streams? I found I love watching art streams. I don't get to do it that often. But when I do, I ask a lot of questions. So, because like I am like extremely interested in technique and how some of the people do some of the stuff, and I'm sure I get annoying from time to time. Yeah, let me oh, thanks for the chat bot, man. I thought I had it open. Oh, cool. That's awesome. What type of stuff do you photograph? My wife and I, we tried to start a photography business. She loves to do landscape photography, and I was trying to get into weddings because that's what pays. But it is really hard. But I love photography. I'm not that great at it though. But that's awesome, man. There was this guy on YouTube. His name was Fro Knows Photo. Fro Knows Photos. I learned a lot from him, man. He had like super instructional videos. If he would have been on Twitch, I don't know if he is actually. If he's not on Twitch, but if he would have been on Twitch, he would have done really well, man. Because he was incredibly engaging, super fun personality, and the stuff that he talked about was super knowledgeable. Like, he went through even so much like how to put a photo album together, except for weddings. Yeah, I did a couple weddings. I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants, like, because I literally had no idea what I was doing. And the first wedding I had was on a beach, so naturally lighting was all over the place, so that was fun. But yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I mainly watch Jim Lee. He does an art stream on Twitch. He's a comic book artist for DC. I think he's actually an executive at DC now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I think Sound Alerts is still down for some reason. The browser source, I went on their site and it said the browser source isn't online, so I'm not too worried about it. And Watson, I appreciate it, man. All right, so I don't want to use the heavy Sharpie on this one. I'm gonna use the 8. Macro photos, that's awesome, man. I bought a oh man, I'm gonna butcher it. Tukina macro lens. I think it's 100mm. I haven't been able to use it a whole lot, mainly just because I suck. But that's awesome, man. I love macro photos. We were trying to save up for specific lenses. Like, obviously there's a ton of lenses that you want to get, but I was like, all right, I've got to narrow it down to the specific ones that I want. So we got a 50mm, a 1.8 50mm, which the nifty 50, I think that's what they call it. Really good price, bang for your buck rather. And then we got the macro lens, and I wanted to get like a wide angle lens, but we just didn't have the money for it. Yeah. My wife loves macro photography, but she doesn't get to do photography a whole lot just because we have 2 kids, so, and they take up most of our time. She loves doing, she does a lot of portrait photography. But Sigma? No, it's not a Sigma. I think it's a Tokina is the brand. The brand for the 50 was Nikon. I think it was Nikon, because that's what I have. I think I have the Nikon 7200. I think it's a 7200. I'm probably going to show my ignorance trying to talk about this stuff, so. But yeah, man, I got, like, when I get into stuff, I go in. So I did a ton of research, like, way back when we first started, and I've probably forgot most of it. Like, I got books and research and all that stuff, and I mean, I got business license. I mean, we did everything, but I am not that great on the business side. So I know my strengths, and that is not one of them. All right, let's draw Appa. So Appa is going to not be super detailed, just because he's going to be way in the background. But we'll draw it as detailed as we can get it. I have a Canon 100mm 2.8. Yeah. So like obviously we were on the fence when we first started. You know, do we get Canon or Nikon? I had Canon like originally, like back in the day, and I really liked it, but we just came Costco, of course, with their deals. They had a deal on the Nikon. I forgot which one we got first. Yeah, I can't remember the one that we got first, but and then we got the second body, which was the I think it's the 7200. So and then my wife and I think we did a wedding together, and we each had a camera, and we each had a 50, the nifty 50. But man, I really struggled in low light to get good photos. It was really hard for me. Like we had the huge box lights and stuff like that, but again, I wasn't that great in being able to do that. So Canon has always made sense for my place because my grandfather and my regular father both use Canon as a new set photographer. They always can. Yeah, so you would have access to all the lenses and everything. So that definitely makes sense. I had a buddy let me borrow a Canon camera one time, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. I've never seen pictures this awesome. So, you know, yeah, that makes sense. I'm actually not a hater on Canon. Even though I have Nikon, I like both of them, honestly. I know people are like diehard one or the other, but I don't know. I feel like you can get the same thing with both. All right. Sorry, that's a lot of photography talk for those of you who are not interested in photography. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I don't need that one. I'm gonna outline Appa just to... We're gonna call this dude Appa, even though it probably isn't. Actually, you know what? This is Appa. It's gonna be Appa. We're declaring it. Sorry, I haven't bought Spotify, so it's just the commercials. So we'll just mute it until it comes back. All right, so I think I'm happy with this. I'm going to... All right, this is going to look really weird. Okay, got it. Oh yeah, that's right. All right, this is going to look really weird, but as you can see, the top of this is cut off because I didn't measure the paper right. I'm going to draw the spire on this. It looks just like these other ones, but I'm going to draw it right here. And I'm actually just going to stitch it onto here once we scan this in, which I don't know if we're going to be able to do that tonight just because we got such a late start. But I'm going to be stitching that basically onto that once I scan it in. And then maybe next week, we'll start with all the digital alterations and stitching it together and coloring it and stuff like that. Hopefully we can finish it next week. I think we can. So let me all right, let me draw this right here. So I want the spire to be super tall. I don't want it to hit Appa though. Some of this music is really weird. mind this one though. It's very relaxing. Alright. There's more than one of those half platypus, half bulldog flying things. Hey Lizzie, thank you. It's going good. OBS decided to remove all of my scenes, so the one that you're seeing now is just hobbled together in the span of like 10 seconds. So I apologize for the lack of visual finesse on the stream, as it usually is with Cross and myself, as we try to do at least. But thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. We're just kind of putting the finishing touches on Aang, the Air Temple, and Zuko, and now we're going to get into drawing the Fire Temple. So this one is a beast. I think this one is probably more complicated than the Fire Temple, or than the Air Temple rather, not the Fire Temple. I had all my photo references up until my PC crashed. So just bear with me 1 second. Nope. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting a good reference photo. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. I'm actually going to erase this and start over, because I think the Fire Temple is way bigger than this. It's way taller than this, rather. I hope I don't run out of space. I might, and yeah, I am. I'm gonna flip the page. All right, so let's just put a platformer here so we can draw this. Oh, that's really loud. All right. Alright, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels, and each level is capped with what looks like a hat almost. Alright, so the first one is obviously the widest one, and I'm just laying, just like I do with people, I'm just laying in the general shape of the level. 2. And each level is obviously slightly smaller than the other one. Looks like a cake almost. Let me kind of redo this. It's actually a little bit closer to the edge of the previous one. It's just slightly smaller, not much though. Alright, yeah, thanks for the shout out, Cross, appreciate it. The temples in this show are always pretty crazy. Yeah, definitely a beast to draw. What was the one, there was one temple that they went to later on in the series, when I think this was after Aang got hit by Zuko. I think it was Zuko, by lightning in his back. And it was like a It was like on a cliff, but it was like in the cliff. I don't know how to describe it. They tried to attack it with the floating boats. The Fire Nation did. I can't remember. I think it was an air temple. I just can't remember. I think it'd be really cool if you made a new capture of the reference pieces and about your face cam so we can see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me do that. That's actually a really good idea. I'll add it right now. On the fly editing, people. Alright, so I'm using this this reference just to kind of get a good idea of what I'm looking at. This is obviously my desktop. So I'll try to push it over here just a bit so you can see where I'm working at. Let me know if that works, if you can see that. Yeah, that works. What'd you call the floating things? What did I call floating things? The upside down temples? Alright, cool. Alright, so let's start doing this. Alright, let me see how I want to do this. This is super intricate. Sheesh. So he has kind of like these things coming off that are like almost torches, but there's 3 of them. And the thing is, this has to be even, so I need to make sure that I'm probably going to cut just a couple of corners with this thing. Depends on how easy it's coming along. Because you don't have to draw every single detail of a certain thing in order for the whole to come across. The whole of the item, of said item to come across, so. Alright, I'm liking this. So there's like a pillar right here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 pillars on each side, so. But there's like a little roof too. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Pull this up. I can't really see this that well. There we go, that's better. Alright, so they do go all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, so there's 4 pillars on each side. So this is kind of like the gate. So this is a little bit smaller than the other side, so I need to kind of come in here and fix that. Yeah, move this down so you can see. I need to get it a little bit closer so you can see what I'm working on. If you hold control and use the scroll on the mouse, you can make it larger. Oh, cool. Oh, it's just making the page larger. Yeah, it's being a butt. It's okay. Nothing works as it should for me. But it's okay. It's not a problem. So we have kind of like a archway thing going on between each pillar. Oh, it's all good, bro. No worries. Alright, and then coming off of this thing, it's almost like a Japanese. So I was reading, when I was doing research for this, I was reading that there's a specific Japanese temple that they got the inspiration for this from. I think it was Japanese. And if you look at the temple, I'm like, yep, that's the fire temple. And then there's like what do you call this? Steps, I guess. That's probably the appropriate word. Right click the picture and hit open a new tab. And then do it. Oh, look at a lot coming in. Clutch. No, Meow Mix doesn't present anything because they're not paying us. As soon as Meow Mix wants to pay us, then they can present all they want. Alright, this is somebody's DeviantArt thing, so it might not be 100% accurate. But it's close enough in my book. Alright, so, and then you have... Did it as a team. Look at you guys. Look at us. Look at us, huh? Just working together. Alright, this is, again, me just getting the main shapes in, and then I'll come in and refine it a bit. Probably should be using a ruler, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not looking forward to all these things, drawing all these things. Not looking forward to it. Alright, so again, we have this kind of, how do you say, Japanese style. I don't want to call it a hat because I don't want to be indelicate, but that's what it looks like to me. All right, let's see. How to draw all this detail? I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, I do have a clue. So my assumption, this is my assumption, is that they draw it once, super detailed, and it's hand painted, and then that's used as the reference. And then they probably created a 3D model of it. So they have a little bit of CGI in the show. So when they need to like pan around it, which I don't know if they ever did that, but if they did, that's probably what they did. But yeah, man, this is a little nuts. A little nuts. Like, I need to make sure that angles are all the same. crazy. Oh, see, that's not right. Yeah, I think the airships were too. A lot of animation anymore is computer generated to a degree. I know, that's why I like the old animes. Like Akira and Ghost in the Shell and Neon Genesis. I feel like... And even, honestly, the old Disney movies. Old school ones. Like Sleeping Beauty. And... like, there was CGI in Lion King and stuff like that. But still, like, the art in Lion King. Like, there's one scene... I'm getting super geeky now, but there's one scene where Mufasa is talking to Scar, and as Mufasa is talking, he's spinning, and Scar is spinning around Mufasa. All that was hand drawn, and it looks phenomenal. And like, you don't see that a lot. You don't see that type of stuff anymore. Yeah, a lot, because they kind of did the same thing with the old school Disney movies. They would have I forgot what they call it. I forgot what they had a background. I forgot what a plate maybe is what it was called, and all the animation was done on top of that. And sometimes the plate was really long, so they could like move the characters along it, and it would change. But that was hand painted. Oh no! Sorry about that, Lizzie. Well, glad you're back. Smalls, I miss seeing the pencil lines in animated movies. Yeah. But like, even like Little Mermaid, like Little Mermaid is just fantastically animated and drawn Disney movie, man. You can't. Old school Disney movies are where it's at. Just the way that they capture the movement of characters, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. Rotoscoping? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's it or not. You're probably right, but. I'm probably going to have to do a lot of editing of this particular temple in Photoshop, and I'm okay with that. Oh, okay, got it. Yep. Lets the pencil lines show through in their films and sometimes, which is nice. Removing the old Scooby-Doo cartoons because of the color of the objects. Yeah, you're right. I remember that. Let's see if we can get this. Also, a Lion King that took the real actors' faces and worked them into the drawing of the characters. You can tell so much with Mufasa. Yeah, and also Scar. Because that's Jeremy Irons all day. But yeah, man. And Rafiki to a certain extent. Because the actor that played him, like, I mean, there's definitely a slight resemblance in some of the facial movements. But I still think Sleeping Beauty is probably one of the Sleeping Beauty and Sword in the Stone, which Sword in the Stone is my favorite Disney movie, but I think Sleeping Beauty is probably one of the best animated Disney movies ever. Just because there's one scene in particular that I'm thinking about when the prince is fighting the dragon and he's stepping up on some rocks and he's moving and he's swiping his sword and he's climbing and he's swiping, and it looks like you could tell that they used the reference. You could tell that they used the reference of a real person doing exactly what that guy's doing, and it's just master. It's a master class in animation. All right. Yeah, you guys are getting me hype. I love talking about animation. But Locke, I know you and I have had this conversation, but for those of you who are anime fans, just again, and I know a lot of people say the same thing, but one of my favorite things, or one of my favorite scenes in any animation was just the opening of Akira when they're doing the bike chase through Neo Tokyo, and I just having watched the behind the scenes of how that was done and stuff, all the lights in the background of the city, the bikes moving, how they had the fluorescence in the lights and the tail lights, all that was hand painted. It was crazy detail. And I started rewatching Neon Genesis Evangelion, and just the movements of the Evas on that show, it's crazy. It's so elegant, man. But to your point, Watson, I think Avatar is probably the best contemporary animated show as far as quality goes. And I know a Korean studio did most of the animation, and the Korean studios do most of like the Marvel movie animation or the Marvel animated movies, which there aren't a ton of them, but I think they do a lot of the Marvel animated stuff as well. And they're just really good, man. They're really, really good. Watched Oliver and Company today, and even the films with lower budget are so fun. Yeah, don't forget the first Land Before Time as well. Dude, I watched that so many times. American Tail. Come on now. Five Goes West. That was art. Right, let's nail in some of these. Dude, Land Before Time made me cry so many times. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is taking this and just flipping it, mirroring it, because I don't want these to be totally off. But just for the sake of what we're doing right now, I'm gonna obviously draw it out. Because in the drawing process, I might find something that I like and want to keep it. So. Love First Land Before Time. Yeah, that was my jam. As soon as you think it makes sense, you move on to another shot and realize, wait, I don't know how to animate it, do I? Do you do any animation, Lizzie? I'm gonna actually I might start inking this in a minute, just so I can start working up towards the top. So we have 4 levels left. We've done these 2. We need to do these 4. So the levels get a little bit thinner as we go up, but they still look kind of similar. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we should probably be picking your brain instead of me just pulling stuff out of my butt. Even 7 minutes is really intense. Yeah, because you're talking about, I mean, the standard is what, 24 frames a second? I don't know. Is it 24 or 30 when it comes to animation? So you're talking about 24 drawings. Let's just say 24 for the sake of it. Drawings per second over the span of an hour and a half animated film. It's crazy. And they all have to make sense with each other. My favorite thing about Lion King is, sorry, my chat went nuts. People forget the movie was Disney's B Project movie for that summer. They didn't think it would do well because it was the first animated movie, animal movie without humans. Pocahontas was supposed to be the #1 film of the summer. And their A movie. It's a really good point. Lion King was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I never thought it was of lesser quality. Yeah, that was my jam when I was younger. So much so that I bought a How to Draw Lion King book, and I drew quite a few Lion King pieces. But yeah, I love that movie. I still love Sword in the Stone though. Sword in the Stone is my jam. I've always been fascinated with like Merlin and wizards and all that stuff. I know I'm a geek. So there are pillars right here, but they're mainly like, they look almost decorative. Meow Mix, you better stop. They almost look decorative. So it's like almost like a cathedral type thing. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Hold on one sec. Alright, so the next one, it has again the same type of stair step design. Might run out of space again. I thought I had it tall enough, but I don't know if I do. Alright. Alright, starting to come together a little bit. Which, I'm sorry, speaking of anime, which I know I brought up earlier, Locke, who's in chat, which, Coop, would you mind giving Locke a shout out for his stream? Locke and I will be doing an anime chat at some point in August. I don't think we've determined the date at this point. But we'll be doing an anime chat in August. Kind of walking through our top animes and kind of walking through them and discussing them in detail, and then discussing just anime as a whole. For those of you who don't know, Locke is an anime just aficionado. I don't want to speak out of turn, Locke, but I think you've hosted or put on several anime conventions, and he's everyone that I brought up to him, he's at least heard of or seen. So let me see. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. It has become a bit of a moving target. It has, and the only reason is behind that is like I have so much anime to watch to catch up on. I started watching Demon Hunter, which is pretty sweet. Started watching Tokyo Ghoul. I've yet to finish Dragon Ball Z, the whole series. I think I got almost all the way through season 8, which there's 9 seasons, and then I stopped watching it for like a year, so I forgot most of it. So I went back a season or two because I didn't want to forget anything. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. We'll keep everybody posted on the actual dates and stuff once we have a better idea of when it's going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It looks like 5. This top one is kind of 1, but separated in the middle. So I'm going to treat it like that. I ran one here in Michigan for several years, and I was on the board of directors for one in Ohio and have staff several. So yeah, he knows a lot, way more than I do. So it's going to be cool getting a chance to talk with him and showing him how ignorant I am on anime, calling myself an anime fan. So I should bring my wife on. She knows way more about it than I do. I just enjoy it, man. I enjoy it for the art alone, honestly. But obviously the stories are great too. But I come at it the same way that I come at comics. I love the stories in comics, and there are several stories in comics that I truly, really love. But I mainly approach comics from an art standpoint. Like I love the art in comics. That's why I got into it. I got into Spawn because it just looked bad, like bad A. You know, it was awesome. So yeah. All right. Go Daiko Con here in Michigan for several years, not the last year. You want to be like this artist, man, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know if I know like actual artists, like artist names in anime for the most part. It's probably treason to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. Alright, so let's definitely make some notes before in case you want to be like this artist, man, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Oh, I think I merged your 2 messages in my brain. Yeah, I'm gonna do my research, Locke, and research as much as I can on that, because I don't want to come across as ignorant, and I don't want to disrespect anime, so. But Locke, your wife's Smalls. She's also a hardcore anime buff too, so. Right? Yeah, I know Akira Toriyama. Rumiko Takahashi. I would maybe know something that they've done. I know the names I'm more familiar with from a comic standpoint of art. But yeah, I definitely know Akira Toriyama. Alright. Man, this is tedious. This is way more tedious than the Air Temple. I'll take your word for it, man. Alright, actually, I'm not going to ink it yet. Let's continue. Let's continue. Toriyama is the one that I shouldn't have known because he did all the art for Dragon Ball and Chrono Trigger. I didn't know he did Chrono Trigger. That's awesome. See, and here's where I show my ignorance, Smalls. I have not seen either of them. So, I know you're a huge fan of Inuyasha, right? I haven't seen that or Ranma. I haven't seen Gundam either, which I know is not associated with that in any way. It's just an older anime, which I think Ranma is as well. I could be wrong, but Gundam just dropped on Netflix, so I'm pumped about just watching a little bit of that at least, because I'm all for mechs. Some of Akira Toriyama's stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. Even the Dragon Ball Z stuff. But I think the later he gets in the series, I think the better it gets. Obviously. I think the same thing with Avatar. The later in the series that they get, and even when they cross over into Korra, even though I'm not a huge, as much of a fan of Korra as I am of Avatar, because I don't think the story is as good. But I think the animation is really, really good. Like, they dialed it in. Mess that up. This is very relaxing for me. I love drawing tedious lines. I know that sounds weird, but I really do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mirror this because this is just not working. I said I love drawing serious lines, or tedious lines. I'm gonna have to completely redo this. Toriyama also did Dragon Quest. Gotcha. Very big fan of Inuyasha. Yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I will say I'm really enjoying Demon Hunter. I've only seen several episodes, but I really dig the art style on it. Cause like that for me, like, when I'm like trying out a new anime, if I can't get into the art, I'm not gonna watch it. I know that might be super shallow, but if I can't dig the art style, I'm not. I know me, and I know I'm not gonna watch it. Cause even like DC animated movies, like they just did The Long Halloween, which is based on like the best-selling comic, and I thought the art was just awful. Same thing, I think, in my opinion, with the Batman Hush animated movie. I just think I feel like, and I could be wrong, and I could just have like super unattainable standards for like what I like. I feel like they rushed it. So I think you can tell when people take their time with animation and the art. It's cool to see that even major productions improve the course of the series. Yes, Definitely had a hard time getting into Korra than I did Avatar. Dude, just the way that they move when they're doing their bending, it's just nuts. Because like I was saying with The Lion King, there are scenes where the characters are spinning around, but the camera angle is changing. And they do that in Korra. They do it in Avatar too, but I think they do it more so in Korra. And they just nail the movement of a figure in three dimensions. It's crazy, man. Did I see the Batman anime? Yes. Well, wait a minute. Are you talking about Batman Ninja? Because if you are, then yes, I did, and I love it. I own it, actually. It was awesome. I love all things samurai. And ninja. I know samurai are not ninja, but all that stuff. I love it. I'm going to run into this big black line, which is just great. I was trying not to do that, and I'm going to do it. So we're just going to have to go with it. Yeah, because it is what it is. So this is the top of the temple. And it's got kind of like a lotus thing going on, but I'll draw that in a minute. Guys, this is so tedious. Let me make sure all these angles are good. Watson, I hope you know I love you for drawing this.
This isn't just basketball. This is the NBA playoffs. And with William Hill Sportsbook, you can dial up the...
So when I scan it in, Watson, I can erase that out. It's not a big deal. But what I'm going to do when I scan this in is I'm going to take half of this and I'm going to flip it so that it's equal on both sides. So I never got around to watching the full length thing, but the animated short that came out before that was awesome. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think the whole thing it's like bonkers. It's bonkers off the wall, like weird, but it's still sweet, man. It's sweet seeing Batman in his like samurai getup. And it's like there's like a lot of steampunk elements to it. It's just really cool, man. All right. What's up, Supercalifrag? Thanks for popping in. We're working on Watson's piece from the 12-hour stream. Try not to do too much damage. We are currently drawing the Fire Temple from Avatar, and it's a pain in the butt. I'm excited to see how you do the color grading for the background. Yeah, I might do something similar to what I did for Caleb's, and actually paint the background, kind of what they do in the animated series. But I haven't honestly fully decided what I'm going to do on that. But obviously, Zuko's side's going to be more red themed, and Aang's side's going to be like a lighter, not necessarily blue, but I need to make it contrast to the complementary color to red is green, but it's not going to be green. So it'll probably be bluish, tealish with some yellows in there. So thanks for the shout out for Supercalifrag. Lock. All right. All right, let me see. Sorry, I'm losing my place on where I am. So we've done 4. The next 2. Okay, cool. My Alexa just tried to listen to me. I don't appreciate that, Alexa.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Well, that's good, because I didn't ask you a question. Notice when I'm drawing really tedious stuff, I stop breathing. Which is probably not a good thing. But it helps me draw like more steady, I guess. So erase some stuff. Alexa out here creeping. I know, man. She'd be spying on my combos. Alexa, go to sleep. Although I do have her, like, I have some of my art stuff hooked up to it, to Alexa, so it's pretty sweet. Like, when I come in the office and I want to do some art, like, I can tell her to turn on the lamp. The art light, I call it. So it's pretty sweet. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try something. This is bugging me. So I'm not able to see where I'm drawing. I don't need it completely gone, I just need most of it gone. Okay, that's good enough. Alright. So it actually doesn't go up right there, actually. So let me remove that. Goes up kind of right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a hexagon. So every side has a pillar. And then it's like a lotus thing going on. So we'll try to get this right. There's a big square, which I assume is a window. Are we finally at the top? Alright, so let's do the columns again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 columns. There we go. Just a quick chat catch up. Just want to see how everybody's doing. Make sure nobody's falling asleep. Sorry for being so quiet. I just wanted to make sure I was getting these details right. I don't want to mess up, so hope everybody's doing well and you are having a great evening. Today I was researching genealogy. Nitro, I love you, but you gotta get to bed now. Alright, Locke, no worries, man. You take it easy. Thanks for chilling, bro. I was researching my genealogy today. Cool. You know, my friend had tried to get me into Ark. Epic. Ark, I'm assuming you were referring to the game. Is that right? And I never played it. I never got into it. Seems like a really cool game, though. But I was able to trace my lineage all the way back to France, which is pretty cool. And then apparently I have some Scottish ancestors, too, which I told Cross, for those of you who don't know, he's Scottish. I told him that, you know, that means we're bonded for life now. So, you know, as we share Scottish blood, obviously. And we're going kilt shopping. Not really. But that would be sweet, though. But I found out one of my ancestors was, I think, the first official governor of the Florida Territory. After or during the Revolutionary War, or whenever that was established. I think it was early 1800s, actually. And he knew Marquis de Lafayette. He also met George Washington, which was pretty sweet. But he was personally appointed by President James Monroe, so that was really cool to find out. I'm super interested in genealogy because my dad passed in 2016, and I never really knew a whole lot about his family. Sharing blood sounds a bit cultish. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I never really knew a lot about my dad's side of the family. So, hold on, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm missing a column. I'm missing a column, a line.
At Kroger, we know there's never a
No
good
Kroger.
time to run
No.
out of
Chased my last name back long enough. My family was one of the kings of Scotland. Dude, that's awesome. Sheesh. That's really cool, man. Yeah, one of my so you have royalty in your blood, dude. What are you doing on my stream? I'm just joking. I traced part of my lineage back to like there was a guy named John Graham who came over from Dumfries, Scotland, and he helped found Dumfries, Virginia, which I thought was really cool. See you, Lock. Thanks again, man. All right, I think we're good on this, man. I don't know if I can draw any more lines. I'm gonna start inking this. The thing is, this thing is not going to be this big in the background. It's going to be like half this size almost. I'm a little bit of everything. I want to do a 23andMe and Ancestry DNA. Yeah, so I did both. I did 23andMe and Ancestry.com, but I spent most of my time today on Ancestry, where all of the they have a lot of like records on Ancestry, because it's basically just a pool of people doing research. So, and I was cross-referencing it with like public data, and it was really cool. Oops. Good night, friend who ignored me all day. It's balled up, man. Calling him out. Calling him out like that. You know, one of my family was split to McDonald's. I've heard of them. Sorry, I'm doing the whole not breathing thing. Gotta make sure these lines are as straight as they can be. Whew, okay. If there's anything in your life that you would like... Oh, I thought somebody was talking. Almost read out our skate stuff. But if there is anything in your life you like prayer about, if you're into that, got your back. Thanks for the shout out. I'll hear ignoring poor Skeets. One of the most intelligent viewers. I mean, Skeets is here every day. Every stream, just lurking in the shadows, getting ready to ban people for putting in a link or saying a word that they don't like. Skeets just be waiting to ban people. Like, man, why don't you calm down? Calm down, Skeets. Calm down. Ban Skeets. Respectable. Skeets is clutch sometimes, though. I don't know when, but I'm sure it's. I'm gonna call it a she. I don't know why, it just feels right. Skeets deserves better. Hashtag justice for Skeets. It's vegetable oil mine. You. So we normally do a sneaker break right about now, but I have been just incredibly busy and I haven't had an opportunity to work on my sneakers. So we will not be doing that tonight. Maybe next week, once I have some time to get some done, maybe we'll do that. My hand is cramping. Whew. I don't recommend McDonald's food even though I'm technically family with them. I don't know, man. Wow, I say that. I feel like the fries have gone way downhill in the past, like, decade. Like, I don't know about y'all, but they're just incredibly inconsistent where I am. And, yeah. It's not appreciated, McDonald's. It's not appreciated. Burger King is my burger joint of choice. I think they probably have the best tasting burgers of fast food restaurants. But if you throw Five Guys into the mix, then, I mean, what are we even doing with our lives? Alright, since we're talking about burgers. I have a friend that's from Texas and he swears by Whataburger. I've been to Whataburger multiple times and I don't get the hype. I'm going to be honest. I do not get the hype. Probably going to get a lot of hate. I don't know if anybody in here is from Texas or thereabouts, because I don't think it's just in Texas. I think it might be in Louisiana too. I could be wrong. But I just don't get the hype. Now, I do want to try In-N-Out Burger because I heard they're phenomenal. But I have not ever been to the West Coast, so that's on the bucket list. I've also never tried White Castle. Seen the movie though. Just never tried the burger. I'm not much of a burger guy. Burger King is one I go to. Is that and Wendy's. I will say Wendy's. Their burgers are phenomenal. Man from stepping foot in Texas. I probably am. I've told him this too. I just don't get it. I think their whole thing is they put gravy. They have like really good pickles and they put like gravy on their burgers and stuff. I'm just like, I don't need that, man. Just give me a good burger. I don't need all that fancy stuff. Just give me a good burger. And obviously the fries have to be good. Obviously. Alright, it's starting to come together. Starting to come together. I'd say In-N-Out is not bad. White House, I don't like, and Whataburger I've never been to. Yeah. I would probably agree with the Wendy's. I'd probably say that they're... I don't really get burgers a ton. I love burgers. I just don't go out of my way to buy them a lot. I would probably say that Wendy's is probably my favorite burger. But Burger King makes a good burger. I think it all comes down to as well, like, what did you grow up with? And like ours was McDonald's. McDonald's burgers are trash. I'm sorry if anybody likes them, but they're trash. Yeah, Pin is making it pop, man. Pin is making it pop. It'll be even better when I can scan it in and fix all the issues. Yeah, so we grew up with McDonald's and Wendy's. So like I have obviously a soft spot for Wendy's. White Castle's meh. Gotcha. They do those tiny burgers, right? Oops. Burger joint here called Dick's, and it's so freaking good. Shake Shack. I don't know if anybody's been to Shake Shack, but they're good. Shoot. Sorry, my lines are getting crooked because my hand's cramping up. Gotta do the whole not breathing thing. As I heavily exhale into my mic. Take a break. I don't know, man. I'm in the flow state. Dude, Arby's is legit. I just wish they weren't so freaking expensive, man. If I go there and get, well, I don't know, sometimes they have deals like 5 for 5 type stuff, but if I go in there and I get the monster roast beef. I forgot what they call it, but it's just gigantic. And then get curly fries, which in my opinion are the best fries of any fast food place. You can You can disagree and be wrong, but you know, it is what it is. It's like $15 or something dumb like that. I'm like, man, I ain't got that type of money. But Arby's, I love Arby's. One of our Sea of Thieves streams, Infinity Bros got shouted out, was trying to explain to Robbie and him just reacting. Sweaty concerts in Seattle. Oh, Arby's is not trash. Watson, come on, dude. Yeah, go to your room, man. Talking that nonsense in here.
Hey, Kroger, we know there's
Kroger,
never a good
you
time
sit the
to
next
ride
couple
out.
plays out, alright, buddy? Yeah, go to your room with that trash, Watson. Nobody here is hearing that noise. Actually going to lurk now. Alright, man. See you, bro. Dude, they're not bad, man. They're amazing. They're amazing. They're just extremely overpriced. I will grant you the overpriced. I will not grant you the bad. Sorry, buddy. These things are probably going to look a little janky until I can fix them in Photoshop, so just FYI. I know I've said that like 48 times already, but I've never been to Hardee's or Arby's. Yeah, I think something is definitely wrong with your Arby's, Watson. I'm not a huge dessert person, but their apple turnovers, man. The apple and cherry turnovers, I should say, will change your life. They will change your life for the better. All right. There we go. Man, we got really sidetracked with the fast food conversation, which I enjoyed, by the way. Until Watson just ruined it with his just garbage trash talk. Alright, almost at the top. Almost at the top. Alright, as soon as I'm done with this, we might have to call it. But we will have inked all of the main pieces of the piece, and we'll have them scanned in for next week and hopefully start coloring next week. Sorry, Chunk, I don't know what the issue is with Skeets. Working on inking some stuff myself this evening. I'm skipping around on the project and just doing the quick and easy pages though. That's awesome. It's his it's an animation project, Lizzie, that you're doing? If so, what is it that you're currently working on? Please do share. I am very interested. And that sounded super sarcastic, but I'm legit. I really am interested. Chunk Skits doesn't like you. So I am pumped because Cross and I are finally going to get some much needed hangout bro time this Saturday. We haven't been able to hang out really since the pandemic. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on Twitch. Pandemic. COVID. But we're going to go peruse some comics at our local comic book store. So, pretty excited about that. No animation tonight. Right now I'm in crunch time with a graphic novel. Oh, cool. What, if you don't mind me asking, what's the subject of the graphic novel? Yeah, on Saturday, man. We're going to... There's this comic store near us that... We actually had one of our first interviews was with the owner. He was super cool and came on our stream. But yeah, we're probably gonna go there, hang out for a little bit, and we're gonna go see Black Widow. Maybe grab a bite to eat at a really good Arby's. Just joking. We probably won't go there. I might push back my 12-hour stream a week then, because everybody I've talked to said they're busy Saturday. I wanted to do some community games. Dude, how did I not know you were doing a 12-hour stream this Saturday? Don't push it back on the account of me. Fantasy comic graphic novel. Oh, community games. I see what you're saying. First volume. It's an all ages fantasy comic graphic novel. I wanted to get this first volume wrapped up so I could work on other stuff. That's really cool, man. I've always wanted to do a comic or graphic novel. I've just never had the guts to try. I did one time I was alright, I need to rephrase. I was getting ready to say I was advertising myself in Craigslist. I was advertising my artistic services in a Craigslist ad, and a gentleman reached out to me. He wanted to do a comic. So I sat down with him. We sat down at like a Starbucks or something like that, and he started talking me through the process, or through the story and stuff, and it was really cool. It was like this mercenary story. So I did some mock-ups of some of the characters, and he really liked them, and nothing really came of it, man. Nothing really came of it, which was kind of a bummer. I'm really bad at organizing, so it's probably mainly my fault. But it was that's the closest I've ever come to doing a comic. But it was really cool, man. Just being able to take his like blurbs about the characters and create something based off that, and like having it like blow his mind. That was really, really cool. That was a cool thing. And of course, there's this long spire on the top of this thing that I'm not going to be able to draw. Make you play some Among Us. Oh, gosh. No, thank you. I can't stand Among Us. It just makes me hate everybody that I'm playing with. And I don't like that feeling. I think part of it is I'm just super competitive. It's probably the main thing. And the other part is I just suck at it. So there's that. That's probably a big part of it too. All right. It's very difficult medium because you gotta have just the right amount of guts. Yeah, not to start, but not so much that you bite off more than you can chew. Yeah, it's okay. Skeets is just super sensitive, Lizzie. I think for me is, the thing for me, well, I wasn't writing at the time, he was writing. But I think the most important thing is the writing, I think, in my opinion. Obviously to get it going. Because that dictates the art, obviously. That sounded super duh, but I think when you're approaching a comic, if you're writing and art, I almost said arting it. If you're writing and drawing it, your writing has to be visual, you know? Like you have to know what you want the end product to look like, or it's not going to come across. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Chunk. I just don't like the game. All right, let me see. No, I thought that was a song. I was like, what the heck? All right, so let's start putting in some of the little details. Yeah, I don't need to draw that in pencil. I can just do that. Yeah, and then Lizzie, from an art perspective, for me, I just get super overwhelmed because like there's so many different ways you can take like something, and like I just get like decision paralysis when it comes to like how should I draw this, because I know once I'm done, I'm like, man, I could have done that so much better this way or whatever. Let's see. I'm only going to do these lines on the left hand side because I'm going to mirror this, so I don't need to do the other side. Yeah, I think to your point though, Lizzie, I think the biggest thing is just starting and then kind of learning as you go almost. There's so many resources out there though for people who want to create comics that I think is really cool. Man, this is a really intense temple. I did not think it was going to be this intense. Get a different size pen. I'm going to get a really, really tiny pen. And I'm about to kind of call it, so I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did with the air temple. Just, I'm not going to draw every single one of these. I'm just going to give the indication of the roof shingles. There are more places to get help. Yeah. Like even Comic Cons, like you can just self-publish and like sell your own stuff. Because like we've had this gentleman, Dr. Mark Bell, come on. He actually teaches. He's creating a comic based off of the life of King David and from the Bible, but he's doing it like what did he say? He said it's like Chronicles of Narnia meets Star Wars. He's doing it in such a cool, inventive way. But what I was gonna say was he teaches comics at a local college here. I say local, it's probably like 2 hours away. Dude, he had so much insight, and like he was like, dude, whenever you need, just reach out to me and I'll come on the show or whatever. So I think it might be cool to do a stream with him one time and kind of just do live art with him, and kind of talk through the process and stuff. I think he would be totally down for that. Honestly, my first comic has gone through like 6 iterations in the past 5 years, and in a way it's a bummer to redo so many times, but it's finally where I wanted to work. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, my wife and I have been trying to do something together, like comic book wise, for a while. She writes. She's a really good writer, but she doesn't think she is, but she is. So trying to get together with her and do something that's like really cool and creative, would be really cool. All right, I'm gonna just start outlining this in the dark. In the dark. Sorry, hold still. And then once I'm done with this, we'll probably call it a night. Yeah, as Skeetsa said in the chat, if you are not on our Discord and you would like to kind of hang out with us after streams, between streams, all that stuff, feel free to join us. We have a pretty active Discord. And we even have a section, Lizzie, for art. So I try to post as often as I can in there, and other people, we have another gentleman who is creating a comic right now. I think it's a Star Wars based comic. I forgot the name of it. His name is J Duran Art, JDURAN Art. I actually think he streams on Twitch, so let's shout him out. I don't know if he's on here. I don't know his stream title. Oh, sorry, that was a bomb. But anyways, yeah. So we're pretty active, posting art and stuff like that. So yeah, feel free to join, Lizzie. I didn't mean to point you out, but obviously we're talking about art, so. But we talk about all different types of stuff. Geek culture, comics, how's your life going? All different sorts of stuff. There we go. I'm liking it. I'm liking it, Watson. Hopefully you like it too, bro. Let's color some of this rock. Just do a couple little. Thanks for the lurk, Bafflin. Appreciate it. Alright, so just so we can see where we're at before we call it a night. So, appreciate it, Baffling. Really, really appreciate it. Alright, so just so we can see where we're at right now. So, the piece is going to be split into two halves. Let me raise this up so we can see a little bit better. My hands are shaking. There we go. Actually, let me move this just a tad. Sorry guys, this camera is a little bit wobbly. My hand's shaking too. And let me take this browser source out so we can see it. Alright, so the piece is going to be split into two. It's going to be Zuko with the fire temple in the background on one side. And Aang with the air temple in the back on the other. I'm thinking I'm going to make it 16 by 20, Watson. And it'll just be a strip of, like, there'll be a strip of white on the top, a strip of white on the bottom, and then a strip of the painting in the middle. I think that would be really cool. I think it would visually look really cool. But I will be getting all those scanned in. I'll be getting all those scanned in this week, so we can kind of start working on coloring them out. And I will try to have them all. We won't be doing any editing of the pencil drawings on stream like we did in the past, because I think that's a little tedious. I'll try to have that all done before we get on stream, so we can kind of just jump straight into stitching them together and doing some coloring. But as always, I really appreciate you guys hanging out, especially at the beginning of the stream, because OBS decided to delete all my scenes, so I had to kind of hobble these together from scratch. But I really appreciate everybody coming by, saying kind words, and having really cool conversation about making comics and eating burgers. What's up, Caffeine Rush? You too, bro. So let's go ahead and let's find someone to raid. And again, I really appreciate everybody hanging out. Hopefully we'll be able to wrap this piece up next Tuesday night and then start on the real RKO, the dude who made our stream within the first 15 minutes happen, the charity donation. So thanks again, everybody. I hope you guys have a great evening. And always, as always, you guys stay classy. Let's go ahead and raid.
Zero miedo. I got no fear. Zero miedo. I got it here. Zero miedo. Now I can cheer. Zero fear. Zero fear.